Do you know what the smallest mountain on Earth is? Surprisingly, that's a much more difficult question to answer than you might expect. But here are a few contenders, and the size of the last one is going to blow your mind. First up, we have the Sutter Buttes, which are often referred to as the smallest mountain range on the planet. Located in California's Central Valley, the Sutter Buttes rise to a maximum elevation of only 2,122 feet. And not only do they have a low elevation, but these eroded volcanic domes cover a pretty small area as well, as the entire range forms a rough circle only 10 miles in diameter. So clearly, the Sutter Buttes are pretty small generally speaking. But compared to some of the other contenders for smallest mountain on the planet, they're actually relatively huge. For instance, Mount Wycheproof is significantly smaller than the Sutter Buttes. Located in the Tarik Tarik Range of Victoria, Australia, Mount Wycheproof has a modest summit elevation of 486 feet, and it rises only 138 feet above the surrounding landscape. In fact, this mountain is so nondescript that you can't even see it on a topographic map of the area. And unsurprisingly, based on its appearance, Mount Wycheproof is the most common answer if you were to Google what is the smallest mountain on Earth. But here's the thing, we can get even smaller than Mount Wycheproof. Way smaller, in fact. But first, comment what you think is the smallest mountain in the world and why you think that's the case, given that this whole argument is pretty subjective. One major contender is certainly Japan's Mount Hiori. Located on the east coast of Japan, Mount Hiori rises to a staggering elevation of 10 feet. That's right, the height of this so-called mountain is only 10 feet, making it the lowest officially recognized mountain in Japan and probably the entire world. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, there's no way that that's a mountain. But here's the thing. Because there's no internationally recognized definition of what constitutes a mountain, it's basically up to every country to decide for itself. And for Japan, that definition is basically just any landform that's mapped as a mountain by the Geospatial Information Authority of Japan. Admittedly, this is already a pretty tenuous definition of what constitutes a mountain, but what really pushes it over the edge is the fact that Mount Hiori is entirely man-made. That raises the question, can you actually build a mountain? I certainly don't think so, but if Mount Hiori isn't the smallest mountain on Earth, then what is? Let me know what you think below and follow for more geography content.